Alright, hey guys, and welcome back. So today I'm going to be revisiting the Sonic Adventure 2 Sonic the Hedgehog plush, or you may be more commonly known of the titles Soap Shoes Sonic plush, and that is of course because of the shoe design that Sonic has in Sonic Adventure 2, which is incorporated into this plush. Now, I did a video review on this guy about 4 years ago now, and it's a pretty okay video, but the camera quality is not that great on it, so I've been wanting to revisit this plush for a little while now to have a much more higher quality video, and for myself to actually have a closer look at this plush as well, because with the exception of maybe getting him out once or twice a year for a quick dust, I very rarely get the chance to have a look at him and appreciate this plush in much closer detail. So yeah, I'm going to have a much closer look at this plush on this video. I'm going to go through some of the facts on this plush and its release, and also towards the end do some comparisons to some various other Sonic plushes. So let's get straight on with it. Okay, so this plush's first release was released back in 2001 with collaboration and to promote Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast. Now, you may have seen some pictures or some videos of this plush being featured before that time, as this did pop up at the E3 booth that Sega had to promote Sonic Adventure 2 before its release, but as far as I'm aware, they weren't for sale at that booth. The first place and time you was able to pick these up, and I believe the only place you was able to pick these up at this time, was Joypolis in Tokyo, Japan in 2001. Now, you couldn't actually go in there and buy these plushes, for instance. You actually had to win them as a game prize there. You would have been able to pick these up in such things as the UFO crane machines, and there may have been some other amusement type prizes there to pick him up. Think games like throw 5 balls into a bucket type thing. I visited Joypolis many times, and I did actually do a little video on it a couple of months ago, so if you want to get a better feel of how Joypolis looks inside and some of the ways you can pick up some of their newer prizes, I'll put a link in the description for those that are interested. So there are 5 characters in this plush set that were released. Sonic the Hedgehog, of course, being one of them. He's the one I'm doing right in front of you, but there is also a Rouge the Bat, which you can see just to the right hand side of this video there, sitting in a display cabinet. And there was also a Shadow the Hedgehog, a Tails and a Hero Child. Now, all of these plushes have become very sought after and rare over the years. You've got to think these plushes were released, I believe it was 17 years ago now, back in 2001. And it's even more harder to find these plushes in good condition, the ones that haven't been overly played with, have been displayed in direct sunlight and faded, or have just overall decayed over time. So it's even more harder to find them in mint condition, especially with tag. Now, to determine whether you are looking at the first release version of this plush is quite easy. All we have to do is have a look at his tag. Now, this is the only version of this plush which contains this tag. I'm going to try to show you as closely as I can. You've of course got Sonic Adventure 2 artwork here, you've got Sonic on the left and Shadow on the right. But what I also really like about this tag is you've got the 10th anniversary logo there on the top left, which is really cool. And you did have quite a few 10th anniversary pieces of merchandise that were released around that time, such as a crystal cube, and there was a ring, and I believe there was also a coin, all of which have become pretty rare over the years, and some more valuable than others. If I turn him around, I will show you the back of the tag as close as I can. There we go. So you can see you've got Japanese text, you've got Sega prize, and the website www.sega.co.jp/prize 2001, made in China. Now, of course, not every plush you see that may be for sale of this or listed on such sites as eBay are going to contain the tag. So the next best way to determine whether this is the Japanese version of this plush is to look at the touch tag, which is going to be this one here. Now, this will contain Japanese text, and it says underneath that original game at Sega at Sonic Team /Sega 2001, and on the back you've got Sega 2001 made in China, and I believe that's Chinese text underneath. So in terms of what his actual size is, I'm going to lay him down, just remove these tins out of the way, and use a tape measure. It's pretty hard to lay flat because his spikes are quite stuffed, but the plush itself is from the tip of his ear to the bottom of his shoe, about 14.5 inches. So as I said, he is a big old plush. Now I'm going to pick the camera up here so we can get a closer look and show you some of the detail of this dude. So mine's in really good condition, and I'm really fortunate and happy to have mine in such amazing condition. Mine's about, well, of course the plush is 16 to 17 years old, but I've had mine about 8 or 9 years now, and I've kept him in reasonably dust-free condition and out of direct sunlight to keep him in this really cool condition. And yes, it's a shame that a lot of the ones I see popping up online are in a really bad used condition, as these are really awesome and unique styles for a Sonic plush. I've said before, and it still stands to this day, that this plush is my favourite incarnation of modern Sonic in a plush form. It's just so, and that's not just because he has the soap shoe Sonic design, but he's just so overly nice and well done. He really feels like a high quality plush, and you think that these would have been able to have been won or literally what, 500 yen coin back then. And of course after its first release they would have popped up on sites such as eBay or Yahoo Japan, and they was very cheap and easy to pick up, going for, well, literally next to nothing compared to the value they are now. But yes, let's have a little look at them. Now the spikes on this plush are really cool. They are all individually stuffed and very firmly stuffed. Now you'll find that with a lot of Sonic plushes that they feel quite flat or hollow and they've not been properly stuffed. These are definitely not that. You can just see there that how firm this plush is, and in the back part even his tail. He still contains his gold hang tag, but I would never recommend using that because that's going to put tremendous stress on the top part of the plush. And I can only imagine that mine was ever used via its gold hang tag, when it was available in one of the amusement prizes, because that is how they hang them up. His hands are really cool. Another thing is that each individual finger and thumb have been individually stuffed with you got stitching there to incorporate that he has fingers, and it's pretty sweet that his actual top finger is in a pointing position, and it's like that on both gloves. You can see there. His eyes are made of plastic, which is something you don't see with any sort of plushes nowadays, which is mostly kind of a safety precaution to stop like small children from ripping it off and possibly being a choking hazard. Most cases eyes will be stitched on or embroidered, part of the actual material itself. Now the only thing that's kind of slightly aged on my plush is the actual white part of the eyes. Now because the white material is the same kind of trying to think of the word here, it's a very much plush type material itself, the eyes, and because it's white it's kind of bobbled over time, which is something you'll find when some of your clothing gets old, such as a jumper for instance. And because it's a white material it does show up more because of its colour, as you can see there. But other than that, and that is just something that's only because of age over time. If we move down, we can have a look at probably the most famous and most well-known feature of this plush, and that is of course his actual soap shoes himself, as they are called. And now another thing that's made this plush quite sought after with collectors is the lack of merchandise featuring the Sonic Adventure 2 design as this. As far as I'm aware, there are only 2 pieces of merchandise that incorporate this modern type of merchandise, and that is of course this plush, and the other one being the Joyride figure, which came out around the sort of same time. There was also a Shadow the Hedgehog as well from the Joyride figure series. I did a review on Sonic quite a few years ago now. But yeah, the shoes are really nicely done. They've actually stuck like a piece of felt there on top of his shoes to show you that that's kind of like how he's done them up. That is actually a separate part of the plush. You might be able to just see some of the little bit of the glue there what they've used. That's really cool. I haven't looked at any artwork of Modern Sonic from Sonic Adventure 2 recently, but as far as I'm aware, these are spot on with accuracy for their design. So you can kind of see they've even like stitched it in here on the soles of his shoe to give it that design of how the toe part of the sneaker goes up slightly. Now the bottom part of the plush is the only different material that's used from the overall plush design. You've got this velvet type leather, which is pretty cool because it really does give you that sort of authentic feel of a sneaker or trainer. So yes, his mouth is very nicely stitched on. They've given him a really good depth here for his smile as well. Sometimes it would just be a single line going around, but this one's got a really big triangle there. Now, although this plush has only had a handful of times that it has been re-released, I just want to throw out there that the current Joypolis Sonic plush that you can win from its venue, or also buy online, because it's by no means a rare plush. If you was to look on eBay right now and put Joypolis Sonic plush, you would probably find many of them. This plush has a very similar design to Soap Shoe Sonic plush, and I'm just going to get him in frame here now to show you. Now, I am almost certain that these are probably made in the same factory or whatever that Sega have used to make the Soap Shoe Sonic plush. Now, although it's much newer, the Joypolis Sonic plush, this is the current one they use for their prizes in their place now, but you can see just the similarities for the plush. It's nigh on the same size, although Soap Shoe Sonic is probably slightly chunkier and a bit firmer stuffed, but the design is very similar, and you can see this one has the more recent embroidered eyes that you'll see on plushes. Of course, the most notable difference is the fact that the Joypolis Sonic plush doesn't have the soap shoes and is his standard running shoes that he has in pretty much all his games. But yeah, the design is incredibly similar. Even like the back part of the Joypolis plush, it looks incredibly similar. I'll try to do a side-by-side comparison. You can see the tones of the blue are of course different. But yes, if you want to pick up like a similar type plush to this one, and you're not too bothered about the soap shoes design on the bottom half, Joypolis is definitely the one to go for if you want a much cheaper alternative. Now let me do a little comparison to a much older Sonic plush. This one was released back in 1992, and this one's also in pretty much mint condition, and I still have the tag on this one, sorry. Now this one is well over 25 years old, but you can see just the comparison in terms of quality of the plush and how this looks. I'm still a big fan of this proper old school Sonic plush, although this isn't my very old original one. My old original one has a lot more wear. I still have a lot of love for this one. But he's pretty much the same size. If you want to do a little comparison to a more obscure Sonic plush, here is the Sega World Sydney Sonic plush, and I should point out this is the small design. This is another plush I'm really quite fond of, mostly because it is the most unique looking Sonic plush I think you'll ever see. Now, some people have said that this is a very ugly plush, and I can kind of understand that argument as well, but I think it looks really cool because he's got like a really overly happy expression on his face here. He's got these huge eyes, kind of like a chibi anime style. His ears are kind of like very strangely all in the pink material, and he's got these really short stubby spikes. And his gloves, he's actually like wearing mittens, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, as a little comparison to the Sega World Sydney, this one was only available in Sydney, Australia, Sega World. A little comparison, I have here the Sonic X Volume 2 Sonic plush. Of course, this is a much smaller Sonic plush. but this also incorporates his modern design. Pretty cool. This one also is tagged as well. I do contain the full set of the Sonic X Volume 2 and 1, I should say. I plan to do a review of them sometime, maybe in the near future. Now I should point out another thing, that they greatly improved the quality of not just this Sonic the Hedgehog plush from the Sonic Adventure 2 set, but of course, before the Sonic Adventure 2 plushes were released, we also had Sonic Adventure 1 plushes that were released, and some of these are incredibly hard to get hold of now. I think it's probably got one of the rarest plushes from the Sonic plush set universe, I'm going to say, and that would be E102 Gamma. But there are also a couple other hard ones to get in there, such as Amy Rose, but there's also Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails and Knuckles as well, I believe. But something I've found with the Sonic Adventure 1 plushes, unfortunately I don't have one to show you by comparison, and that is the material they used in the shoes. It's a completely different material they used for the Sonic Adventure 2 shoes, and the easiest way to notice that is because the materials in the Sonic Adventure 1 plushes have greatly broken down and decayed over time. It's kind of like the leather has greatly cracked and it's kind of falling apart. A good example I'm going to use for you, which is why I've got this one here, is you can see with this plush design, the actual leather part of the shoes has all started to crack, and although I've seen much worse conditions from the Sonic X range, they all are starting to go the same way, and that's just something you're not going to be able to stop because the material is just breaking down over time. It's just why I very much avoid touching these ones as little as possible. But these also have the tendency to stick on stuff, so if you're displaying these, you don't want these making contact with other plushes that have a sort of velvet leather material, or you don't want them touching glass because that will also break it down even quicker, and it may even like sort of glue to that material. Also statues, you want to avoid them touching that. But the Sonic Adventure 2 plushes have not had this problem. So I did actually want to get up a few eBay listings to show you guys the prices that these plushes are going for currently at the moment, but after having a little look through eBay, I couldn't actually find a single listing of this plush or any of the other Sonic Adventure 2 characters for that matter on eBay, and I did check worldwide as a testament showing you just how rare these guys are to pop up in the wild. The best advice I could give you if you want to pick one of these plushes up is to learn how the Japanese auction sites work, such as Yahoo Japan. You're going to have more chance of finding them on there, and possibly you'll find them for cheaper on there as well, but there is no guarantee of that matter either. The value that this Sonic plush goes for currently at the minute, I've seen used ones go for around £300, which is probably about $450 after converting it from pound to sterling. Mint condition one, like this Japanese one with the tag, could possibly fetch between 500 plus, possibly maybe about $600, $600 to $700. Kind of depends on how many watches it's got, and if it's an auction style, how much the bidders are willing to actually put forward to get for this plush. The funny thing is that the Sonic plush from the Sonic Adventure 2 set isn't the most valuable character to get. I'd probably say the Shadow the Hedgehog, or maybe Hero Char or Rouge the Bat. Them three are probably the more valuable ones to get out of the set, especially tagged. Sonic's kind of like on the lower end scale of value. I'd put him in with Tails around the 300 mark, but I say low value. £300 is a lot of money to anyone, I don't care who you are. That is a lot of money, and it's not something I'd be really willing to pay on a plush. I got mine years ago, and thankfully that was before the values skyrocketed. So yeah, it's a case of being patient. If you want to get these one of these plushes, you just got to keep looking. It's something you need to do frequently, and unfortunately that's the only way you're gonna be able to get one. It's a shame that Sega haven't done a proper commercial re-release of this plush. That would be really awesome. It would bring the value down on some of these other plushes, which would make them easier obtainable for collectors, which would always be awesome. And that brings this video to a close, guys. If you want to check out some more videos featuring the Soap Shoes Sonic plush, then I'd really recommend you check out PatMac's video on the Soap Shoes Sonic plush. He does an incredibly in-depth video on this plush and its re-releases and its entire history. It's definitely a must-watch if you're a fan of this plush. He does use a few of the photos I've taken of this plush in his video, which is really cool. And also, if you want to check out the Western release version of this plush review, I'd really recommend you check out Orange Hedgehog 2012's video of this plush. I'm going to put links to both videos in the description below, so if you want some more fix of Sonic Adventure 2 soap shoes, they're the two videos you want to check out. Thank you very much for watching this video all the way to the end, guys. It is always very much appreciated to hear your feedback and support. Stay tuned for more Sonic videos in the coming future.